Hey guys, this is Kyle with Attack of the Fanboy. I'm here with Miles with CD Projekt Red. He is a level designer on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. How are you doing, Miles?
I'm doing splendid. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good. How's PAX East going for you guys?
Pretty well, pretty well. We have a lot of people playing our game here on site, and the feedback has been very, very awesome, actually. It's very humbling.
That's good. So the game is actually coming out, I think, March 17th, correct?
It is 19th. May 19th.
May 19th. Okay, I had that way wrong.
May 19th.
All right, very, very cool. And it's, what systems is it coming out for?
It is coming out on Xbox One, PS4, and PlayStation, PC, of course.
Gotcha. So tell me a little bit about The Witcher 3. Obviously, it's the third game. It still stars Geralt. So tell us a little bit about The Witcher 3.
So yeah, in The Witcher Wild Hunt, you take control of a professional monster hunter for hire. His name is Geralt of Rivia, and he is a mutant outcast, basically. Like, he's a highly skilled professional trained to kill monsters for money. And you get to play him in this huge open world that we have prepared for you, and you go and find his adoptive, like, how do you describe it? It's like his goal is to find his adoptive daughter, Ciri, who happens to be quite affiliated with magic and therefore a living weapon. Now, he's not the only one trying to find her. There's also the Wild Hunt, like an ominous force of spectral riders that want to have Ciri for their own purposes. So there's this race and tension between Geralt and the Wild Hunt trying to find Ciri.
Yeah, I actually ran into them in the opening sequence. I just played, I guess, first hour or so, about the first 45 minutes through the training and all of that. How different is The Witcher 3 from the previous games, The Witcher and The Witcher 2?
Very, actually. We have completely changed our approach on how we want to present the game. Like, the first two games have been quite difficult to grasp for people unfamiliar with the source material, that being the books from Andrzej Sapkowski. It's based on a novel series. Now, we do realize that with the new consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, we have an audience that is completely fresh to the franchise. At the same time, we have a lot of fans carrying over from the PC platform. So one of the challenges that we had was actually to cater to both audiences, right? Enable new players to find their way into the franchise and be comfortable with the game world, whereas also delivering stuff for players that are fans of the franchise that have been long with us.
Yeah, that's one of the really cool things with The Witcher that I saw, especially here, is just the vast world of The Witcher. It's a very unique world. Can you tell us a little bit about the world?
Yeah, first off, it's huge. I don't know, you've played it a bit, so you've gotten a glimpse on only actually a very small part of the world. And we like to call it like a morally indifferent world, where it's not very obvious what you do, whether what you do is good or bad. It's more about what you think personally is right, even though it's hard to tell sometimes what actually this right thing is. So you might have to do some really difficult choices, which outcome you might not be able to tell right before. But the game still forces you to kind of make these choices, right? So that's actually something that's really cool about.
Yeah, there was a lot of dialogue tree choices, you know, in the dialogue, and I believe that the past games had that as well with a branching storyline. How are you bringing your choices over from previous games?
Yeah, we're enabling players both on consoles and PC actually to continue a state from the previous games. For PC players, that would work in a way where, of course, you can import your save files, but should you have lost them, or are you a console player where it's not the possibility, we have the game will ask you whether you want to simulate a save state from the previous games, and then in the game, interwoven with a narrative, you will meet an NPC who you will have a conversation with, and this conversation will basically be steered by you, depending on how
You're kind of telling the story of your Witcher?
Yeah, sort of like that.
Gotcha. So you were a level designer on the game. So go a little bit into the levels. It's obviously it's a vast world. It's huge. So tell us a little bit about how you build this world.
Yeah, I think with something this big, what's important to know is that you start out really rough and then work yourselves into the finer details. So how that applied to our game world is basically that we started dividing the huge world into smaller subregions, defining characteristics of those, and then what do we want to do here. Some of these regions were actually already predetermined by the story that was written at that point. And you work yourself more and more into the detail, basically, and that enabled us to create a quite convincing world.
And this is the first Witcher game on the new consoles, correct? So how did that change your work, and how did that change the game in general?
I can't really speak from a technical point of view since I'm not a coder, but for us, it actually gave us more opportunity because the new consoles mean new horsepower, more horsepower, so it allowed us not only to create a bigger world, but a world that also feels more alive. It's easily to mistake this extra horsepower just for graphics, right? They have more, I don't know.
Which look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you, glad you like it. So there's like this easy way to say like more RAM, more graphics, right? But really what it also means is that we can have more intelligent NPCs. We can have like these dynamic day and night cycles with different weathers, people doing whatever it is that they specifically do, right? Independently from whether Geralt interacts with them or not. And this is something that we really can do thanks to next gen.
Gotcha. Yeah. So anything else that you can think of to talk about with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt?
Well, I hope you look as much forward to the game as I am, and I very much hope that you'll like it once it's released. We're very confident in the product, but
I mean, from just the hour, I'd say about 45 minutes that I played, I can feel that confidence in the product. It feels very sure of itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all or nothing, right? So basically, that's also one of the reasons why we delayed the game, because we wanted to continue polishing it. We locked content quite early on, and right now we're just fixing bugs and making sure everything works properly and the experience is smooth.
Yeah, people are a little tired of broken games, so
we noticed. Yeah. We are too, really.
Yeah. Gotcha. Anything else?
No. What?
All right. Well, thank you for talking to me, Miles, and good luck with Witcher 3.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.